Hey, welcome back guys to Trainz. We're back to the building on this episode. This is just before the last episode was made. This was filmed. This was just me removing everything. I thought I'd add it in to a bit of continuity so you can see it actually being done. So today what we're going to be doing, we're going to be making tunnels. Well, a tunnel. As you see, so what we're going to be doing first, get rid of all this lot. And then we need to make the hill up in the middle. Now, you pretty much saw the hill last time. So we take a height, so where the hill is here, and then it's just basically just hiring up the rest of it. I did a quick paint job, just to get rid of that, but it'll be repainted completely. So what we want it reasonably high, because we want to obviously put a tunnel through it. And I want it sort of high near the tracks as well. Now, yep, I take it, well, we need to get out of the train, otherwise you can't adjust the track there. And yep, we take out all this, because we will be putting it all back in again. But I want to make a hill this side as well. And it's more trouble putting the hill in after, when the track's in there, adding the hill in afterwards, it's more trouble doing it that way. So we're going to be at that corner there we just saw, that's where the tunnel will come in from there. See, look, it doesn't work, so you have to take it out. That's it, and then we can go back high again. I think I quite like what we do with this side over here. Now, do I take this out? No, I think I raise it all up, everything out of the way. In retrospect, it probably would have been easier just to take it out and then we put it in. Now with the music, you wouldn't be able to hear this, but right now there's no music and I can hear very fast farm animals. Do you remember to the right, there's we got the horses, we got the cows, and I think there's some sheep over there. I can hear those right now. That's it. So we want to get to a reasonable sort of height. Now it will be quite high right up to the track. Both sides actually. So where that road is, that road will come out a little bit more as well later on. That's it. So this is the corner, well, you can see what it is basically. This is where one of the corner from the train will come in. That's what I was assembling with the circle there. Yep. Tunnel's going straight through here to that area. Gotta be honest, I've decided I don't really like these tunnels now. I like them, but I just don't think they fit what we are doing. But we are going to keep them. I think they are good enough to do what we want, but they're not quite there. I think I probably will leave them in. So trying very gingerly to add these points in. Adding points is actually quite difficult. In the face of it, you just think you're just adding the track onto one of those splice points, one of those circles, and they make a point. And they do, but it clicks one way or the other. And if you're not careful, going over those points afterwards, it's really clunky. So, do I keep it there? Yes, I think I'll bring it back a bit, actually. Doing something? Yeah, I take it back a bit further. I thought I did. Because we're going over the top now. I keep wanting to go on the wrong one. The slice point. So we can move that back a bit. That's not a massive issue. And what didn't I press there? The shift button when I was editing it. That's why it went together like that. Go to that, not needing any more. Probably take that road back a bit, I think. Do I do that? Now, it doesn't matter exactly how it connects right now. Obviously, it doesn't look very nice. So there we go. Just using the smooth tool to actually go up slightly, so it's a slightly easier sort of turn. Incline rather than turn. We are going to be lowering it just there actually as well later on. And I have tested it already, which, yeah, you'll see at the end of the episode. I'll run something across it. Now the idea is that road will go over the top of this track at some point and connect up to the road the other side. At the moment, obviously it's much lower, but it won't be. Now I've cut quite a bit of it out, but getting this to edit and actually be the right level on there, it's been difficult. You can see all the splice points I tried to put in trying to make it work, but that didn't work, so I think I took this trick out 4 times. So just adjusting the height up and down. Now if you use the control key while you're just using the adjust tool, it's like a fine edit. So if you just press the height tool and just press up and down on your mouse, it'll go off really far and go down really far. But if you use the control key, it will actually be much finer sort of adjustments. Now here what I'm doing, I'm lowering it down and then I'm going to use the smooth tool to hopefully, yeah, so we're making indents in, we're lowering it down so it doesn't go up so high, the incline's not so high, but it does take a while to do it. So again, I'm doing the same thing, lowering it down and then smoothing it. You notice there's not so many spline points here as there was before, because I've already taken it out and put it back in again. Right, we're in the corner now. We're going to have a new station this side. Now I've gone for a small one because it's a curved bit of track here. The platform's exactly the same as the other side. We're going to try and make it a similar length. Now we'll take the platform pretty much up to where this tunnel begins. Although it's not tunnel, it's a bridge really, technically there. Now, I'm going to let you into a secret. I adjust this basically. This is just, I've left this bit of film here in to show you what I did. Sort of, I think of this as a story to show you what I'm doing, and you know, hopefully you'll see the end product as the end of the story. But so I put this in, I'm adjusting up and down, put the wall in. I don't like it, so I will take it out a little bit later. But I think it's good for you guys to see actually what I did. Now what I have found about is by doing it this way is it uses a lot of CPU when you try and actually put trains around it. So these are great little assets here. The SRBR footbridge steps. However, it does take a lot of resources. I found it did. My CPU is like 80-90%. It's a reasonable CPU. Now, what we end up with is something very similar. We do end up using the SRBR footbridge, but not quite like this. And I also face it round the steps around the other way because it makes more sense. And as you'll see later on, it makes more sense to do that. In the end as well, because we do use a different type of wall, but the process of putting that wall is exactly the same as this one, which is why I've left this on film. And I do lower that down maybe about a third. I just figure it's a little too high. Now you see what I'm saying, the steps going down onto the end of the platform seems pointless, so when I re-put it in on the top platform there, I change it round to the other side. It makes more sense. That's how, I'm pretty sure that's how it would really be. Now the thing is as well, by actually taking it down by a third, I don't need a lot of the single steps which I've had to put in. So I think it does seem to be a lot less GPU or CPU rather intensive. But I have to say, I do like this bridge. The designer's done a rather good job actually putting these little pieces together to allow you to put something, together how you want it. I think the end product, when you see it later, I think it's not too bad. I think it's okay. I did actually look quite a few. Actually, I downloaded quite a few from the download station and just looked at them. But I felt because the height is so, it's quite high. Like this is another one which I looked at. I've just deleted. It needs to be covered because of the height. I figured if you just have it with a railing, it looks quite dangerous. I'm not sure whether they would want that. Now I know they do fit. It's just that I made a pig's ear of actually trying to get it to fit here. The funny is, as I say, that I took all this off in the end, but I took so long trying to put this together. Now what I might do, the invisible station underneath, as you can see, because it's a small station, everyone's just huddled together there. I did notice you can pull it a little bit more to make it longer, so I'm going to see if that's possible, if it's possible to curve it. If it is, then I'll do that and they can stand there on the platform. If not, I'll put just the individual downloaded people on the platform just to make it look like it's filled up. I might put some people in this footbridge as well. A little like I did with the station master and the ruined crossing on the other end. You won't see them so much, but through the window you would. Now the idea with this station is the actual station buildings are at the top of the wall, at the sort of ground level, and this is dug in. My inspiration for this really is London. It's where I live, and the original tube stations, they weren't deep level tunnels, they were just dug in stations which eventually got covered up over the tracks. Some of the stations were open, but some of them were had tops put on, but they were pretty much all the same. They were literally just dug into the ground and laid the track, then put something over the top. So that's kind of my inspiration with this, sort of having the height there a little bit higher and the feeling of it being dug in, even though the reality is that track's exact same level this side as it is the other side. Now, this is one of the ideas of this station, but it's got a ticket machine on it on the other side, so it kind of put me off in the end. I wasn't quite sure the technology they had in the 60s. I don't think it would have been an automatic ticket machine, but maybe I'm wrong. So I liked this side wall here, the retaining wall. What I liked about it was the grey colour, and the grey colour kind of matched the other side, and I suppose I figured it's not that far away from the other station, that it would be sort of built from the same stuff. In London, for instance, it would be brick. That's what mostly we have down here, but I think maybe this is more set up north somewhere, maybe Yorkshire, something like that, which you would get more stone, maybe somewhere like that. But you can see generally what I'm going for here. That's the level for everything. I put in grass on here, but I'm still not sure even now what I'm going to be putting on there, because this area is going to be factories, so probably I end up putting tarmac or something over it. So I'll probably replace the grass anyway. But again, just like the wall and the footbridge, I left it in because it's pretty much what I ended up with is pretty much this, but just with a different texture. So there's not much difference really. Now I do flatten that hill off a bit more so it's the same level. And we are going to go all the way over to the bridge around the corner here. That wall will move eventually. Just trying to get the height. I think it's 9.2 I'm trying here, but it's just a matter of just hiring up and lowering it. So I haven't placed this wall exactly perfectly, so it might be 9.2 one place, but maybe 9 or 8.9 somewhere else. So it is about just playing with it a little bit. Got to be very careful when using this height tool because it does affect the track. It is a pity there isn't a tool to make it the ground just goes straight up, and then you wouldn't need to actually have these retaining walls. And all you'd need to do really is then brush it in. But I think it's very difficult. I suppose we should really be grateful for what we have, because there's not many other games really which have an editor like this which allow just anyone like you and me just to mess around and make our own train sets and stuff. Train Sim World I don't think has it. Train Simulator, nope, I don't think that has it. So yeah, I think Trainz should be commended. Oh, didn't press the shift button again. Now what I try on this version of the wall is just, well, you'll see, put it to there and then put it to the end. And then sort of try and make it the same height. We do end up something very similar to this actually. So just to play with the height, every time we put it on, it wants to automatically go to the height of the train. So you just high it up a little bit, then you can adjust it, move it into place. Now we're going to do the other side as well. So that tree and that fence will have to go. It's kind of a pity because I like this as a country road. And in a way I still want to leave it as a country road with a sort of the greenery there. So I'm not sure how the merger between what I'm going to have here as factories and the greenery on the other side is going to work yet. But it will come. Now here, I decided at this point we're going to have another tunnel. So take out the track, get the height here, and just raise the land. It's only a long tunnel. But what it allows us to do is frame this little bit down here. Because I want this to be a working class sort of area. The factories, the sort of the smog, and they're not very nice. I want it to be dirtied at that side. So we're going to, at the moment you're going to see at the end, I put some trees and stuff in. Just again to frame it. And then inside there and then within there we sort of put what, you know, the factories and things, and outside we can have countryside. The moment I'm using Trainz, I may not keep that. This is why I'm telling you now what I've done. I'll let you decide later what you think. I may actually change it to actually put some sort of houses above it. Keep the trees the other side from the other exit of the tunnel, this tunnel, but then on this side have maybe some terraced houses, some sort of workers' houses or something, or maybe even another factory. So I'm not entirely sure yet. Right, put this back in. Now I tested this. I can say that now I didn't put this in properly because I have actually run a train up here and it crashed, which is not a good thing. So I'm going to have to look at that. Now I may well fix that before the end, well, before I film the end bit, because I haven't filmed that yet. The thanks for watching and look what I've done bit. Oh, yeah. Now we've got 2 tracks all the way up. And we're also going to put a crossing here in a minute, because then we're going to have the road coming up here as well. That's it, I was just smoothing it there, wasn't I? So we want one at the end, and we'll have a crossing at somewhere so the train can get back onto the other line. Doesn't look too bad. There's a few notches there. We also need to move it right a little bit more. That could be what actually busted it. Because what I found out, where the track is connects to the notch at the end of the turntable, there's a height difference, and it was the tender which actually came off and actually left the turntable to go back. Remember, when you want to do something like a turnaround like this, you do need an extra piece of track, just like I've played there. It's just a feature of the game, it's something which is needed. Otherwise the train just runs off completely down to the next junction. We put a few sort of, I think it's four or five sidings here, basically. Yeah. Don't know what you call it. The end bit's where the trains are going to... the end bit here where the trains are going to park. We may do a little bit more adjusting as well. I think it's quite tight. At the moment we're going to have a station. It's going to be a good station. I'm not sure about this one, but I had a look, couldn't find anything else I liked, so I might keep it, may not. Not sure the factories we're going to put here yet. We don't want something terribly big, sort of more warehousey, I think. Give the impression of stuff there. That will stay. I think that stays, that one. We need to adjust them. Here we go. So we're now going to put the crossing in, which I mentioned. Just a matter of evening up that track, because I prefer the track a little bit wider than I think the game is meant to be. I think they're meant to be right next to each other, but I don't like them like that. I do prefer a bit of a gap, but if you're going to do that, you have to gradually widen it, not something abrupt. Now this road doesn't, as you can see, it doesn't attach properly. We've got height issues. If you remember in the town we had that. Different roads lay at different heights, unfortunately. So we have to mess about with that, put some pretend roads on top just to sort of layer it up a bit. The cars won't go on it, but it will just look a little bit nicer. There we go, so that's what we're doing there. Another road on top. Once it's in, it won't be noticed. Try and get this one as close as possible, and then there we go, we just managed to get that in. So this road will go right up next to the tracks, all the way up there. So we'll smooth this one out afterwards as well. And we're going to have another road coming from this side, this one here. Again, it doesn't connect to the other road, it's different height. Straight across here. This is why I liked having another tunnel here. And as I mentioned earlier, there's going to be the other road, which is you can't see quite right now. It'll be it will connect to this road. So all the roads will eventually connect up. There we go, little siding, and there we go. T-junction there. So we give it a quick paint of tarmac here. I think most of it will be tarmacs, and it will be more of a factory area, as I say. Then back to the original colour there, the sort of the gravel. Now I take this colour out around here again later on. You'll see, because I basically make it green again and I redo it. You'll see why, because effectively I want to make it a bit dirtier looking around here. So it's going to be factories, and so it's not going to look nice there. Remember back to the first episode I mentioned about painting, never use the same colour everywhere, so just keep messing about with it, changing colours. The more colours the better. Try to change the directions as well, and maybe even the scale. And don't forget, on some hills you might have some rocks if it's got sort of a cliffside, or you might have some dirt in places. Some of the grass will be dead, so you could use some of that sort of grass. Just like I'm basically doing here. Yeah, just little. It really is just little dabs here and there, because nothing's ever going to be uniformed. Now, I've made this sort of green, but again, it could end up as being grey. This area is very open to change, shall we say. Some of the colours here I'm not sure about, but here we go. So slowed down quite a lot here, so you can actually have a look. Now I've changed it both sides. We've got a new wall on the right and older wall on the left, or the other way around now. As you can see, I've tried to make it look like I've gone through the wall, or the walkway goes through the wall. Right, back onto here. See, I've made this green now, because I'm going to be redoing it. So I've basically done a little bit more, and I didn't like it. So I just went green, that's it. It's the beauty of the paint and stuff. You just redo it and then just keep playing. Again, we're going to keep layering it. I'm trying to make it dirty. I use a coal colour on a lot of it actually here. We've got some rocks. I'm not sure if I keep those. I don't. There you go. That's gone. We try different colours and see what actually works. There are going to be bushes, and at the moment, as I told you at the beginning, we do put some trees up here and stuff like that. The thing is, this starts to look more country, and I don't want it to. I want it to look working. So I may change that yet. But the one thing it does have, it does start to take on, is that dirty look. It's not looked after. It's not been cleaned. And that's what I really like that. So I suppose it's a little bit of tarmac colour here and there. It's a bit of, I think as I said, coal. Nah, shouldn't keep looking at that track. I can see parts of it off the ground. So just keep playing with colours, because it's, again, it's not uniform. So the great thing is, if you don't like it, you just green it all up again and just do it again. Just keep doing it until you do like it. Now at this point, I was trying sort of different colours and I couldn't find it, but later on I do find the exact colour I want. Dirty grass here, but oh, rocks, yeah. No, don't like that. I don't think I keep that. Just keep making it look more and more dirty. That's it. Here we go. I found it. The coal colours. So I started using it pretty much everywhere. Certainly from the films I saw in the 60s, where the trains weren't looked after and everything was dirty and all the areas were dirty, there's just no money in it in British Rail at all at that point. Now these are the lower res and foliage here, trees, shrubs. If you look on the left hand top side, you can see I saved some of these. If you ever want to save it, you go to a pick list on that little arrow on the left hand side on the screen. It says pick list. You can create one, call it a name, find the thing on the right here, and then you just drag, instead of just clicking on it and using it, you just drag it all the way over to where you want it into the pick list, and it will just save it. There are things about this I like and there's things I don't. I'm not sure about so much greenery in there. As I said earlier, I'm using it as a border really between two areas, because I want that sort of lush and nice that side, but I want this looking awful, horrible. But it's just, where is that border going to be? I think it might be the road over the top there. One side might be sort of a bit more lush, one side might be sort of more businessy. Now, just saw that little bridge. That is something we'll probably be doing next episode. Might use that one, might not. That's what we're going to be putting a bridge right over there with the road. I found it. I had a quick look. Put a train. The train will fit underneath. This here, the hedge. I've already decided. I'm not keeping that hedge there. You think this is the main artery road, really, in and out from some factories. It's not going to be a little tiny country road, so I'm going to have to think of something there. Now what I think here is, we've got some buildings, but maybe sort of have them built into the wall. Don't want to see the chimney. Yeah, there's a massive space there, so I don't know if they ever would have done that. I'm going to try and put it directly opposite this one. Get a better look at this wall. I quite like this wall, this grey one here. But it looks very new. And the other side looks very old. It's like they've replaced the wall on one side and they have it on the other. Maybe it fell down. I couldn't quite decide which one to use actually. So I kept the old one side and the new one on the other. Also again, it doesn't have to be uniformed. But putting these walls in was no different as what you saw earlier from the other one. It's just a different texture, that's all. I found it on the, I'm pretty sure they're both on the download station. Come across them, like them. Now, I like this one as well. I think this would be more of a water sort of wall, the one I used here. It's got all that moss on it. That probably would have come from water, but it works for what I need here. So what we're doing here, we are now adjusting the height down to just a bit flatter, and we want to sort of blend it into the height of everything else there. So we're using the plateau tool to do that. I know what I'm doing here. We're putting, I decided to put some coal in. I found an asset with coal, first of all. It just literally is a pile of coal just dumped down. You might see it somewhere else, I've left it somewhere else actually. Then I start thinking, why do we need an asset for this? Just hire it up and then use the paint tool. You get the exact same effect, but you don't have to use the resources of putting another asset in. I think, is that one? Yes, it is. I think I take those out to the right there. You see, every time I go through this, it looks just a tiny bit more dirty. That's exactly what I'm looking for. It really is. We want the tranquil village one side and we want the working place the other. Well, and there we go. We've done quite a lot today actually, when you think about it. We've put the tunnels in. We put an X in, so we've got one track underneath, one track above. We put quite a bit of scenery in, which we may or may not keep all of it. I still wonder if maybe have the trees this side and maybe buildings that side to go around it to make it look a bit more industrial here, but that can be decided a little bit later on. But overall, not too bad. I do hope that I can keep the countryside sort of look of this road here. I should be able to if I sort of Maybe keep the field to about here, maybe. Again, we can use trees to use like a border. Oh, there's a train coming. I put 2 on there. Still quite a steep hill. However, they do make it up and down quite easily. Ooh. Can I take a screenshot of this? I wonder. One screenshot. Oh, that'd be the thumbnail. For our new station. And the backdrop looks quite good like that. It's just it doesn't look very good at any other time. Anyway, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. If you liked this episode, please do press the like button. It does help. And I've just noticed the colours on this train are just completely different. Didn't notice that when I put them on a second ago. Oh well. And if you'd like to see more, press the subscribe button, and if you press that bell ding dong thing, it will even tell you when I post something on. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Cheers guys. Bye bye.